Hello, welcome to Pilates Matwork. Today, we are going to do some traditional exercises and some variations of them using yoga blocks. So in some ways, this will just enhance the practice a little bit, might make some other things a little bit more challenging, might make some other things a little bit easier for you towards more the end of this session. So be mindful of that. If you don't have yoga blocks, you can get away doing a lot with a folded blanket or bath towel or two bath towels, just folding them like this. And this is also, when you put it on the low back, if you've got a sensitive low back, the softer surface can also make it a little bit easier for you. A yoga bolster would work just as well for that particular one. But I'm gonna encourage you to have two of these if you've got them. I'm gonna save this for knee cushion here in a moment. But that being said, let's get started. So we're gonna start standing, and I'm just gonna start rolling the shoulders out, and my belly button is in. And I'm just gonna let my hips and everything move with me. Okay. And then let's take that other direction. So because you are going into some rotation, you want that belly button to be in nice and tight. Good. And then from here, big inhale, bending the knees, press through the heels, coming all the way up. And again, nice big breath. Good. And then from here, let's just take some just little hip circles here. And as you lift the leg, think about the abs are doing the lifting. Abs are lifting. Abs are lifting. Now let's take that back other direction, a little bit harder now, a little bit more of a challenge. Abs are lifting the leg. Abs are lifting the leg. We're just loosening it up here before we go into some roll downs and Pilates push-ups. Speaking of which, let's kind of shake that all out and let's get to it. So I'm going to start over here today. So at the edge of my mat, I'm going to envision I've got an imaginary wall behind me. So I'm standing nice and tall behind it. And a few things here based on your level. If you've got a back issue or you are newer to Pilates, I want you to have your feet hip width apart. Now, if you don't have any back issues and you're not newer, the closer you step the feet together, the harder you'll make it. And the Pilates V, which looks like this, good, will be the hardest way to do it. So I'm going to do this one in a V. So I'm really zipping up. And I feel engagement right here before I even really do anything. And I'm going to zip up from pubic bone to behind the navel, belly button is in, rolling shoulders back. I'm peeling off that wall. So starting from head to tail, I'm going to tuck that chin. Right when you start that chin tuck, then from right here, you're going to start that C curve roll. Belly button scoops in. It's better to bend the knees than to hinge the hips back. Now, if you've got tight hamstrings, you're going to hinge back a little bit, but we want to try to get out of that habit pattern a little bit. Good. And then once you're down here, press firmly into the floor from hip to heel. And then keeping that C curve scoop, you're going to stack bone by bone. Back up, coming to that nice tall standing position. And you can also practice this on your own up against a wall, peeling off and coming back up. Always a good training tool. One more time, let's nod that chin. Zipping up, belly button is in. So I'm scooping, I'm scooping, I'm scooping. This took me a lot of practice to be able to do this without my hips hinging back. And I've had it longer. I was able to do it longer than what I was actually practicing. It just took somebody to correct that habit pattern. And then once I got out of that habit pattern or was aware of it, then I was able to make changes. Okay, so from here, I'm going to separate my feet about hip width apart here. We're going to come out to the plank, getting into a couple rounds of Pilates push-ups. Nice warm up. So nodding that chin, C curve scoop in. So practice makes progress. So just keep practicing it. And then once you come down there, walk that out, find your plank. Knees can be lifted or grounded. Chest is going to come forward. So you're finding that nice length. Shoulders are back, elbows turn forward. Elbows come straight back, halfway down and push. Halfway down and push. Good. With bent knees or long legs, walk those hands back towards the feet try to stop the hips over the ankles and just walk yourself back up here. Okay. All right, so we'll add on this time, big inhale, exhale, knotting the chin, rolling it down. Really scoop, walk that out. Good. From here, turning the elbows forward, find your length. We want that nice long body. And here we go, halfway. 1, halfway 2, lift the right leg, 1, lift the left leg, 2, woo, a lot harder. Good. Take it back towards the feet. Good. Press into the floor. Round, 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 coming up. Excellent work. Let's come down to all fours here. So we're going to start with a little bit of cat-cow. And I'm just going to spread the fingers nice and wide. Knees are about shoulder width apart. Your knees can, I said that wrong. Knees are about hip width apart. They can be a little bit wider if you've got a back issue. But tops of the feet are going to go down. Look between your legs. Do you see your toes? And if you do, could you take them behind the knees? Belly button is in. Inhale. Chest comes forward. Tilt the pelvis back. Cow pose. Exhale and really round and press away. Mad cat. Inhale and cow. Exhale and cat. One more time. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Good. From here, let's just go side to side. So we're just going to look side to side. So this isn't full tail wag here with the leg. We're just going to keep the feet down. But you want to squeeze the low rib cage and the top of the hip together. So from here, going to my left, squeeze, right, squeeze, left, squeeze, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Take it back, decompress here for a moment. Okay. Now, from here, we're going to go into a thread the needle real quick, and then we're going to play with our block. So from here, I'm going to start by taking my left arm out to the left. I'm going to scoop it through. Remember, hips stay over the knees. You've got a long neck here. So if you're pressing your ear into the floor, you've got to bend in the neck. We want a long neck. Long line from crown to tail. Use that right hand and arm and shoulder to help keep you in this alignment. And then use that side to help push you out of here. And we'll do that to the other side. So right arm comes out. Good. Thread it through. Good. Long neck. Use your left side to help you here. It's almost kind of like you've got your head down there, but it's very lightly touching your mat or your floor. Almost like you've got a piece of paper under there and you're trying not to creakle it. Try not to make a noise. And then from here, when you're ready, we'll press that back up. Good. All right. So most of you know opposite arm and leg. And so what that is basically you've got one hand down, one knee down, opposite arm, opposite leg. Okay. And if you don't have blocks today, you can certainly go back and do that. But if you do, I'm going to give you another option. This one does require 2 blocks though, or 2 folded blankets if you're doing that. So how I'm going to do this is I'm going to have my left hand on a block here. My right knee is going to come to this other block. Okay. And then for right now, good. You can have the right hand down and your left foot's going to come back. As your left foot is back, drop that left hip just slightly, just like we do when we're not using our blocks. Press back there for a moment. Good. Now, I will say before we go into this series, slow and in control is the name of the game. If you're using your blocks and you do this too fast, you will fall off. I'm speaking from experience when I was playing with this last night. So from here, we'll come back up. Good. Right arm's going to lift first, reach, belly button is in. Now, carefully lift that back leg. This is my hardest side of the 2 sides, but we'll go here. So you can stay here or carefully, slowly round elbow to knee. Woo. Inhale and lift. I see. Make sure that your knee is far enough forward on your block so that you've got a little bit more stability. There we go. And we'll do that again. And round. And reach. One more time, round. Now, this requires a lot of core work, but you want that hip and knee, the supporting side, to be in alignment. You want to try not to let that right hip lay out to the side. Now, you can stay with that, or you can come to the diagonal for a moment. And coming center. One more time, diagonal. Come center, really reach, reach, reach. Hand comes down, foot comes down. Carefully come off the block. Do a roundy child's pose here. Decompress those wrists. Good. Gonna grab a little sip of my tea. I am a huge fan of organic herbal tea blends. All right. So from here, now we're just going to switch the blocks to the other side. So now your knee block is going to come to the left. Your hand block is going to come over to the right. Good. And then when you're ready, good, just take that hand, take that knee. Make sure your knee is more up towards the beginning, not too much back here. So you're a little bit more stable. Good. And kind of adjust how close or far apart they need to be based on your body's needs. Good. So right foot is back. I'm going to press back. Right hip drops. Belly button is in. And then when you're ready, good. I'm going to shift forward. My left arm's going to come up first. I'm pressing into that block. Now, this foot comes up, leg comes up. You can stay here or 3 times around with me. Here we go. 1. And lengthen. 2. And lengthen. 3. And lengthen. To the diagonal. 1. And inhale, center. 2. Inhale, center. And take that down. Hand comes down first. Knee and leg come down last. Good. Find a nice little roundy here. Good. And then when you're ready, good, we're going to come onto our backs. So have 1 block handy. We're done with 2 blocks, unless you're going to use 2 for something we're going to do more towards the end of the class. But definitely have 1 block close by. And we're going to come down here and do some pelvic clock work. So I'll just take my ponytail out here. So just rolling the shoulders back. Knees are bent, but they don't have to be, all the way in here. I'm zipping up from pubic bone to behind the navel, and I'm finding my safe neutral. So that's the point where you want the pubic bone and the hip bones to be relatively flat or even in that same plane. I'm going to take my arms out to the side so you can better see what I'm doing here, but I'm zipping up. So for right now, I'm going to tilt that pelvis back. So the pubic bone's coming towards the face. I'm closing any space. That's my posterior tilt. And then I'm going to rock it forward, kind of a little bit more of an arch in the back, but not so much that it hurts. That's your anterior tilt. And we're going to move forward and back here. Our belly button is in really deep. So these pelvic clocks are deep, transverse abdominis work. That's the deepest layer of your abs. So they're underneath the rectus abdominis, which is what gives you your 6-pack, 8-pack, 12-pack, whatever pack that you're looking for there. Okay. So from here, remember, this is tight and controlled. This is not a big circle. This is nice and tight and controlled. If you are properly engaged, you should feel this deep between the navel and the pubic bone. So speaking of the pubic bone, that's going to be your 6 o'clock. If we're thinking of things like clock, your belly button is going to be 12 o'clock. Your left side is going to be 3 o'clock. Right side is going to be your 9 o'clock. So from here, from your safe neutral, good. We're going to take that back to 12 and 6 and 12 and hold. Take it to 3, 6, 9, 12. 3, 6, 9, 12. 3, 6, 9, 12. 3, 6, 9, 12, 3, 6, 9, 12. Hold. Now we're going to reverse that. 9, 6, 3, 12, 9, 6, 3, 12, 9, 6, 3, 12, 9, 6, 3, 12, 9, 6, 3, 12. Rock, rock back and forth. Woo. Okay, coming into some bridging. Okay. This first bridge, we're going to take our block, and you've got options, and a lot of this really depends on how round you are in the inner thigh. So some people are so round, it hurts to put your block in between your thighs. Some people it doesn't. So if that's you, you can just put your block between the shins here, just like that. Otherwise, you can have it right between the thighs. Now you want to come up enough to where you're not on your ankle down there. So I'm just going to do this one. So from the hip, I'm pressing into that block, and then I'm slowly releasing, but I'm not letting go of the block. I'm pressing and releasing, pressing and releasing, pressing and releasing, pressing and releasing. So rolling the shoulders back, pressing arms and shoulders into that mat, press into that block, lift up and lower down. And we'll go again. And we'll press up and lower down. And one more time, press up and lower down. Good. Take the knees into the chest. We're going to grab that block. Good. Now we're going to do a single leg bridge variation. So I'm going to take that block under the right foot. I want your whole foot to be on there as much as possible. If you've got long feet, I've got small feet, then it's okay to have the toes off of here, but have your heel and the ball of the foot on. So from here, I'm going to roll my shoulders back. Now I'm really going to press into that block. Let's take the other leg in tabletop. So I'm going to press, I'm going to lift and lower. Lift and lower. Let's add on. Reach that leg long. As you lift the hips, bend the knees in and lower. Lift the leg and lower. And bend and reach and lower. And lift and lower. Lift and bend and reach and lower. Lift and lower. One more time through. Lift and bend and reach and lower. Lift that leg and lower. Good bottom work there. Let's move that block to the other side. Good. So make sure your foot and everything is secure. The hardest part of this is not necessarily pressing into the block. It's having it in the right spot, making sure it's not too close or too far away. So from here we go. Right knees in tabletop, and we'll lift and lower and lift and lower. Here we go. Lift, reach and lower. Bend, reach, lower. Lift and lower. And bend and reach and lower. And lift and reach and lower. And bend and reach and lower. And lift and reach and lower. And bend and reach and lower. And one more time through. Woo. Reach and take that down. Woo. Take those knees into the chest. Rock, 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 side to side. Okay. From here, when you're ready, let's come into a real quick figure 4. Just getting a little bit of a hip stretch in there. And then the other side. Always finding it like you need to find it. Okay. When you're ready, we're going to come into rolling like a ball, and we're going to do this with the block. So have your block where it is. So now we've got a little bit of a squeeze. I'm going to actually take my block between my knees here. We're going to actually do a little bit of an inner thigh squeeze here as we roll. So whenever you're ready, holding, we're going to roll 1, 2, 3. Woo, too much power there. 4, 5, and 6. Good. And bring that back down. All right. Going into hundreds. So again, you want to use that block. So most of you are going to put it between the legs somewhere, either with bent knees or a long leg. And if you're doing the long legs, I'm going to encourage you to do an external rotation here, okay? There are a few people out there that like to balance on this block in their hundreds and the series of 5. And if that's you, that's not me. I'll just show you. Want to kind of make it a little bit longer here. Maybe not so much. Good. So maybe it's more for series of 5 because I'm trying to, I guess your hundreds in here and a little balance. Okay, so that one is a little bit risky, requires a lot of core control, requires a lot of balance. But if you're there, feel free to go for it. I'm going to come down here. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, arms up, zip up, inhale, exhale, C curve it up. Good. Take your legs where you're going to take them. Start pumping. And we inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, halfway. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale lift up higher. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale reach deeper. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale tuck the chin. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale belly button in. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale hold, and take that down. Woo! Release that block for a moment, don't put it away. Wiggle, 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 side to side here, get that little break. Going into the series of 5 now. So 3 of these will not use the block, 2 of them will if you want to. So going into the single leg stretch first, knees will be in tabletop. Arms are coming up, zipping up, big inhale, exhale, C curving. Good, I'm gonna start on my right side first. Remember, hips don't leave your mat. And I'm gonna pull, you're pulling and reaching. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. Take that leg up. Yes, we're still up here. Single straight leg stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Woo! Bring that down. Short break, reset. Block. You've got 2 options. You can hold on to it like you're really reaching and really reaching. That's what I'm going to do. Or you can put it, between the knees or between the shins as you come in and out. Your choice. We're only going to do 4 of these and 4 of the double straight leg stretch. So I'm in an exhale to begin. Good. Inhale, 1, 2, really reach. 3, 4, good. Double straight leg stretch, same thing with the legs. I'm going to use the legs on this one. Good. You can be externally rotated or parallel. Hands can be underneath the hip bones. You can just be here, or you can be in C curve. 4 is all you need. Tuck that chin if you're in the C curve. Your gaze is still right here at the thighs. And then from here, we're going to inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale, stay in safe neutral. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Bend those knees. Release. You can release the block for a moment. We're going to come into crisscross. We'll go back up to 8 here. Hands are behind the head. Knees are in tabletop. So just like single leg stretch, hips stay grounded. You're leading with the shoulder to facilitate more rotation, more oblique work. This is your waistline. So if you want a smaller waistline, think about leading with the shoulder, not with the elbow. You'll get a little bit deeper in there. And so from here, zipping up, inhale, exhale to the right and left. And 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm sweating now. 6, 7, and 8. Oh, where's my fan? And come back down and wiggle, wiggle side to side. Let's go into a supine twist here. Let's do this one dynamically. So I'm going to take the block again and place that right between the shins or the knees or the thighs, wherever it is you're comfortable. Good. I'm holding it in. I'm pressing from the hips, arms to the side. Good. To the right, to a hover. Exhale, come back in. And to the left. And to the right. And to the left. And to the right. And to the left. Take that all the way over to the right this time. Left shoulder grounded, looking to the left. Breathe and exhale. And when you're ready, good. Using your abs to come back in, taking it all the way over to the left, the right shoulder grounded, looking to the right. And when you're ready, we're going to come back up. Good. Now, we're going to rock again to have a seat. If you want to keep the block there, you can. If you want to give yourself a break, let go of it. Otherwise, here we go. Go 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. So this is what we're going to do here, a boat or open leg balance on a block. If you do not have good balance, I don't recommend you taking this on the block. This is very similar to where your hips are if you did it with hundreds or some of the series of 5 work. But I'm going to sit here on the block. I'm on my lowest setting. And you can even, if you've got 2 blocks and you want a little bit more upper body challenge, you can bring that in here or even down by the feet. So I'm going to come here and make sure that my sit bones are on my block. Good. I'm drawing up from pubic bone behind the navel. I'm rolling my shoulders back. And maybe for some of us, this is where we are. Maybe we play. Maybe we come here. Good. Maybe we can grab feet or toes. We'll see if I can do this one today. I kept falling out of it last night, but maybe not. So just play, but you could do open leg rocker here. Not the full rocker, just the balance. And just like that. Losing it. Practice makes progress. So if you fall over, just laugh. Try again. No one's there to see you fall over. Just kind of just be where you be. I'm just going to be right here. Good. I'm going to release. I'm going to come right here. Good. Maybe we all bend the knees wherever you are. And you can maybe do a little twisty here. My feet are not on the floor. Your bottom can be off the block. If you want to not do this on the block, if you want. And in here, we'll take that balance and twist to the other side. Good. And coming back here. Woo! Let's come out of there. Now I'm going to come off of this. I'm going to take this right here. Good. And then we're going to come into just a little bit of work. So some of you are going to follow me. You're going to take your hands back here somewhere, rolling shoulders back. And maybe this is where you are. Okay. So really think about the abs are pulling the knees in. Abs are pulling the knees in. And maybe long legs. That's a little bit harder. You can also do this without your hands back here. Woo, even harder. Okay. You be where you can be. Woo. I'm gonna hold on here. Yeah. I get excited and then I go too fast and then I fall out. So when you're ready, woo, take that up. Let's come down. Hamstring stretches. Let's get into that. You don't need a block for these. But I'm gonna come down here. Let's start on the left side. So my right leg, your right leg can be long, and it might even feel good just to take it long here for a moment. But I'm gonna bring my hands behind my left leg as high as I can go. And I'm just gonna roll that ankle around in one direction. And then in the other. And a point and flex. Now, if you cannot reach your foot or your toe here, hold somewhere on the outside of this leg so that you have support as you go out to the side. Both hips are going to stay grounded here. And I'm really reaching through this right side. And then when you're ready, we'll come back up. Good. You can keep that leg long or bend it. Just kind of arc it over a little bit here. Move the ankle around, finding interesting stretches. And then when you're ready, we're going to take that to the other side. So now your left leg can come along here, or it can stay a little bit bent. Take your hands behind the right leg. Let them travel up as high as they can go. Point and flex that foot. Maybe roll that ankle around in one direction and then in the other. And then again, if you can't reach the foot or the toe, make sure you've got a hand or some kind of support out here. Okay, and we'll let that leg come out to the side. Just a little bit of a stretch break before we get back into the block. When you're ready, we'll come back up. Good, hand's gonna come somewhere on the outside. Long leg or a bend in the knee. Arc that over, getting right in here. You can move that foot around, finding other interesting stretches. And then when you're ready, good. Release, good. We're going to roll over to our side and we're gonna come up and we're gonna prepare for side series with a block. So for this one, the block is your stability if you don't have long arms. Excuse me. So I'm gonna use my blanket here for a little bit of knee cushion while I do this one. Okay. And then I'm going to take my block to my left side, get a drink of my tea. All right. So from here, I'm gonna have my left hand onto my block. And remember, you can also customize your blocks. You've got a tall one, you've got a medium one, you've got a short side. So do what you need to do there. My right leg is gonna come out here. Good. I wanna zip up. So I don't wanna collapse through my shoulders and I don't wanna try to collapse here. You can always kind of move this foot back here as needed for a kickstand, but I'm just gonna kind of come here and I'm gonna lift. So I'm long here, I'm supported here, I'm zipped up. This hand can be at the hip, it can be up, really anywhere that you want it to be. This is where I'm gonna be. And we're going to lift and tap, and lift and tap, and 2. Maybe that's 3, 4, 5, and 6. Good, kick. So flex, flex, point and take it back. Try not to move the hips. Flex, flex, point and take it back. 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 Really take it back. Good. From here, give yourself a little break if you need one. We're going to take this into circles now. Tiny, tiny circles. We're still zipped up. We're stable in that pelvis. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Reverse. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. From here, however you need to do it, grab that ankle and take it back. And you can kind of wiggle around, you know, where you need to be here to find your quad stretch. If you got a shoulder issue and being on a block or your hand for this one just isn't doing it, remember, you can get all of the same benefits of this series if you're down on the ground. Still get the quad stretch down there. Being up high like this just adds a little bit more challenge to the series, but never required. And reach, take it up. Let's just get a stretch. Good. And then when you're ready, good. We're going to take that to the other side. So we're just going to take the block to the right side. Left foot's gonna come out here, zipping up. Good. Have that block, however it is that you need to do it. And when you're ready, we're zipped up. Good. We're long, we're supported. And here we go with the taps. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we go. Flex, point, or flex, flex, point to the back. 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 One more time. Flex, flex, point to the back. Really hold that back there for a moment. Good. Now here's our little circles. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Whatever way you need to get there, grab that ankle or shin, taking it back, finding that quad stretch. Belly button is in. And whenever you're ready, good, we'll release that leg, come up and stretch over. Always feels good to do this stretch. So when you're ready, good, we're done being up on our knees. We're gonna come belly down now. We're gonna grab that block. I'm gonna do it from this angle this time. Good. I'm going to move my blanket out of the way and come down onto my belly. So from here, I'm just gonna move this block forward for a moment. We're going to come into full swan series here. So we're gonna do, you can do baby swan or full swan. If you're in the full swan and wanna go into the swan dive and the swan rocker with me, feel free to go there. Otherwise, just stay with the swan. So I'm gonna take my hands a little forward and to the side of the shoulder. Elbows are down. Rolling shoulders back. Feet don't leave the floor here. Good. So maybe this is your baby swan. Maybe this is where you need to be. And if you can't go higher without your shoulders doing this, this is where I recommend that you work, really pressing into the floor, building up that strength. Those of you that are able to go higher, rolling the shoulders back. Good. Take that swan 1 and lower. In 2, in 3, in 4. Good. Take it up, go into the swan dive. 1, 2, 3, 4. Swan rocker. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring that down. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Take a child pose here if you need one. If you don't need one, no worries. Just do a wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. So we're going to do swimming with this block, but we're only obviously going to move the lower body. So from here, I've got my block. I'm holding it just like this. I'm going to reach it forward. So zipping up from the front body, I'm lengthening a little bit through the low body, but not so much that I get into the low back or get a foot cramp. And just like in yoga, we're just going to lift into like a little locust. Good. Now, tight and control. Kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Little pulses into that block as you hit here. Good. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the block, hands under shoulders, press back, round in that shoulder. Countering that extension with some good old flexion. All right, so here comes our grand finale here. This one can also be done with a folded blanket. Some of you that have a lot of mobility in the spine can certainly stack 2 blocks on top of each other, which would look like this. If you're going to use 2 blocks, you want it to look like this. If you're going to use, well, I guess technically you could do it this way too. If you're going to use 1 block, you can be here or here. And when you're ready, come onto your back. And then you're going to lift, and I'm going to take that block right underneath here. So you want your tailbone and both sits bones to be under there. And you're going to kind of hold on to your block here to help stay in place. So the legs are going to come up here. Good. And just kind of notice this nice little legs up the wall. Good. This one keeps wanting to come out here. Okay, so from here, we're going to go into a helicopter. So know your right and your left because that's how this is cued. Belly button is in. Good. Left leg comes down. Right leg stays, maybe comes towards the face. We're going to open to the side. So left leg and right leg are out to their sides. Now right leg reaches forward. Left leg is towards the face. Both legs meet at center. Left leg forward. Right leg to the face. Open. Wrap around. And come back up. Left leg forward. And we open. And come back. And meet. One more time. And reach. And open. And come back up. Let's reverse that now that you got the hang of that. Right leg forward. Now we're opening and circling in the opposite direction. Left leg comes up. Right leg down. Opening towards the right side. Reaching and coming up. And right leg forward. And rounding. And coming back up in one more time. Right leg forward. And rounding. And coming back up. Good. From here, let's take this into bicycles. Reach. So there's a few that cannot do the full Pilates bicycle where you're kind of go into it from a shoulder stand position and you're up high on the elbows. This is a nice modification that you can do for that and still get the benefit. Good. And then let's reverse pedal. Good. Now let's add on that challenge. Let's double pedal. Reach and come up. And let's come in and reverse. Belly button's in tight here. This is a lot of core work. And one more. Good. And then when you're ready, good. We're going to bend the knees. Good. We're going to take the feet down 1 foot at a time. Lift the hips. Remove those blocks. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle side to side. All right, through any transition that you want to transition, you can roll over to your side. You can roll like a ball. You can take everything long and come through a roll up here. You choose what you want. And we're going to come up to a seat. Final pose series, final little stretch. We're going to get into mermaid. So from here, how you do your legs, this kind of depends on how you feel. So you've got the Z, if you're familiar with reformer. So you've got, you know, this foot back here, this foot here. This happens to be my right side. This is left side. If that's not comfortable for you, you can still do this about crisscross applesauce or just kind of have both feet out here. So just kind of choose what feels good to your hip. And it's usually going to be this side that doesn't want to do something. So find that length. This side will not be perfectly anchored. Big inhale, exhale, taking that over and reach. And moving through center. And coming over and reach. Good, let's add on, taking it over and rotate. And open. And move through center and taking it over and rotate. And coming back. For this next one, you need to at least be in a Z or be here. This will not work if you're crisscross applesauce. But when you come up and come over, maybe you can reach in, lift a little bit and reaching over, maybe even going into a little bit of a plank and taking that down and coming back. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, we'll take that to the other side. Good. So knowing what we're going to do now, sit how you need to sit. And it might not be the same way that you did it on the other side. So from here, when you're ready, here we go. Taking it over and reach. And move through center and taking it towards the feet. And taking it over and rotate. And opening it back up, taking it back towards the feet, maybe rotating. Good, so here we go. Readjust as you need to. If you're going to take the lift, taking it over, you can lift here, you can lift here, finding what you need, and coming down. Way to go. You made it through this Pilates Matwork class with a block or 2 blocks. I hope you had fun doing it and hope to see you real soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.